Hey guys, it's Cthulthu here. Today is the 23rd of November 2011. It is, well, basically, earlier today, at least for me, this update was made to Runescape, where the user interface was updated, and so was the look of the website and the forums as well. And you know, I say it was earlier today for me because even though it was actually on the 22nd, it's actually 2 a.m. for me now, that being my normal waking hours though, so nothing really strange or out of the ordinary. But yeah, it's my first time to look at the update itself. I'm actually not going to be going anywhere, probably going to be standing in this spot for the entire duration of this video, but I will be using my cursor to point things out. So yeah, talking about the user interface, which is really all there is to talk about, and just to mention it anyway, I am next to the Cooking Guild where there is the turkey event. The turkey event, my god. Yeah, I think that shows how English I am. I'm certainly not American. I wouldn't think straight away that this was the Thanksgiving event. So for me, this is the turkey event, if you don't mind, guys. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I actually have to do this turkey event because I'm guessing there's a new music track that goes along with it. And if there is, then obviously I have to do it. And you know what? There's actually a turkey pet that I can get out of it. So I guess it's not all bad. I mean, it's not as bad as Halloween, where I had to do it for the music track in order to still get completionist cape, even though the rewards were rubbish, and I would rather have not wasted my time, honestly. But anyway, going back onto the completion cape. Nope, that's not what I was talking about. Going back to the user interface. So firstly, the first thing I like is the fact that I can actually see these buttons now. So if you'll notice where my cursor is, it's the buttons just above the chat, and basically it allows you to enlarge the chat. So that's always been there. Well, no, not always been there, but that's been there for a very long time now. And yeah, but the previous problem was that hardly anyone could see it, and I didn't even know it existed until somebody actually told me that it was there. And even when they told me it was there and they were trying to explain to me, oh no, it's right on top of the chat, right in the middle. And I was like, what the hell are they talking about? I can't see anything. So they did used to be there, but they used to be really, really transparent, so it was really hard to see. And finally, we can actually see it, so now it's obvious to everybody. Also, another change they made was to make the chat screen a little bit darker, a little bit more opaque, and that's definitely something that I appreciate myself, because it does make the text a lot easier to read. It's still not perfect. I mean, honestly, I would still prefer a solid screen. But you know what? If this is the next step up, then that's fine by me. I mean, for example, you can change the colours of the text, and half the colours I could instantly, you know, I instantly had to say, right, no, I can't use this. I may wanted to have used it, but I couldn't use it because I simply couldn't read it. That might have changed now. I'm sure there's a few more colours that I can change to and start using. But yeah, green has always been this. Well, my colour is because it's the easiest to read. And then what else? So the buttons have got darker as well, so just the normal buttons. It seems to be a dark blue, doesn't it? Yeah, just like the right click actually. That's a dark blue. That's like a topaz blue or something like that. And yeah, it looks pretty decent. I love the colour of it anyway. Another thing they've changed is, well, obviously the interface design. So they've called it metallic, and that's actually the first thing that came into my mind when I saw it before reading the update. I thought, that looks pretty metallic. But that's obviously because, you know, it's all silver and it reminds you of iron and steel and all those kind of things. And yeah, so it's, well, to be honest, I'm indifferent about the interface style. It's not really something that bothers me. It's not a, you know, a deal breaker or anything like that. Something that I would like though, and this was actually a suggestion I thought of straight away of making, was the fact that, well, wouldn't it be nice if we could actually have a choice of user interfaces? If I didn't want to use this one, then I could use another user interface. I could use one of the older ones. I mean, it's not like they would have to create any new ones. They could just create, or rather bring back the new of the old ones. And I mean, obviously there would have to be some changes to the old ones to incorporate, you know, all the new stuff like the HP, prayer, run, and familiar bars that are attached to the map now, which obviously wasn't the case for previous user interfaces. But I mean, as long as it's in the same style, then they could bring back a few of the old stars, give us a bit more choice, and that would be nice. But yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make a difference to the gameplay or anything like that. So so that's why I can be indifferent. I don't have to like it. I don't really care if I dislike it either, because well, you know, it doesn't matter really. And then what else? So the icons are a bit annoying. I mean, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, why, if you can be indifferent about the design, then surely you can be indifferent about these icons now for the buttons. Unfortunately, I can't. I don't like it. and that's the end of it. Obviously it comes down to personal preference. I just don't like it, and maybe I can't really explain it fully, but that's my 2 cents on the subject. Also, I have to say, while I like, I like quite a lot of this update, like I was saying about a month ago now, when Wickedhood was actually released, I said that if they ever do, update the user interface anytime soon, I'd quite like to see this kind of interface, especially with the nice blue buttons that highlight. And unfortunately, we didn't get that. I mean, I didn't know at the time they were actually going to update the user interface the next month. But yeah, I mean, that would have been nice with these buttons, I mean, just having maybe even a larger button, especially for the larger screens like mine. I mean, giving me the option to have a 1980 by, I've forgotten what my resolution is now, but whatever it is, I mean, it would have been nice to have given me, buttons to match the resolution size, because this is probably going to be a full-size video when I upload it, and you can see the space between the chat and the interface, and you can see that, everything is fantastic in size. But then we've got these ridiculously small buttons, and I wish I could edit the size of them. And that way then, you could have also, because it would have the space around the icons as well, could have make it highlightable, so it would have gone, from a dark blue to a lighter blue, just like was on the Wicked Fury interface just now. So a couple of things they've also changed is, firstly, you'll actually be able to know what you're actually, what your mouse is hovering on from now on. So rather than just the icon of a tree coming up as part of your cursor, you'll now actually find out that it is a tree. So I can chop down this tree if I wanted to. Can also find out that this is Macca's the turkey, so you can identify names much more easily. That will be very nice for quests as well, especially quests. Yeah, definitely that will be useful. And then obviously for newer people joining the game, want to find out what the hell am I looking at. What familiar is this? I've never seen this before. It's a bunyip, and now they know. Well, they would have always known. They could just right click, but it's a bit faster. And I get what they did, because obviously they wanted to make it smoother and just less clicks for having to do such menial jobs as just identifying items. And now it's automatically done. Also, another thing to make gameplay smoother is that they don't make you look away or get distracted to have to look at something else. What I'm talking about here is the examine button. So if you click examine, text will still appear on the chat. So I mean, you could still divert your attention to the chat and read it, but that would be entirely pointless because it's right next to basically where your cursor was, where you were looking originally. It will now tell you exactly what you're looking at. So smells worse than he looks. I don't know if it's talking about me or the bunyip. Examine tree. One of the most common trees in RuneScape. I would definitely say that. In fact, I would go one step further and say that it was the most common tree in RuneScape. And I mean, can I see this fern? No, I can't. Can I see? Oh, I can see Furby. Can I actually see Furby without right-clicking on him? No, I can't. That's a bit strange. Well, I can't actually see Furby at all, but where's a player? There's a player. Well, I guess it still shows you it in the corner there, but that's still diverting your attention. So I can see this guy called Red Blade X, who's level 112. But would have been nice if I actually had a tooltip for him that just automatically came up. That does happen with NPCs though. So while it might not happen for people, it does happen with NPCs. I've already showed you it with the turkeys, but just to show you on a goblin as well. So there you go. If I hover over the goblin, it tells me it says level and tells me what it actually is. Would have been nice if we could have that for players, though maybe it would get a bit too much, especially in places like World 2. Anyway, this video has probably gone long enough, especially seeing as I haven't done anything interesting in this video, and I pretty much won't be. In fact, that's guaranteed, seeing as we probably ended the video by now. But also, just to quickly mention the forums and the website in passing, it does look fantastic. Certainly no complaints there. The logo looks fantastic, the website looks fantastic, and yeah, it's all good. But you know what? If I have to say, leave with a final word about the user interface, it's that I feel that this is just being done because, it's like, giving something a new lick of paint for the sake of it, and for no other reason. I mean, I don't know. Could they have done something better? Could they have done something more interesting? Could they have gone out of their way to give us something a bit more spectacular rather than just a new paint job? I don't know, but what do you think, guys? I mean, is it really an update? Is it, I don't know. I think they could have done something more. One thing I would definitely love to see is for us to be able to move these around. So, I don't want this chat here. I want to move it there. I want to enlarge it, lengthways as well as just, top to bottom. I want to move it in width as well. Maybe I want to make these buttons larger. Maybe I want to make my inventory go further out or something like that. And also, you know what? Something I did notice actually is that I would have considered this to be part of the interface as well, but this wasn't updated for some reason. Anyway, guys, like I said, this has been going on long enough. Thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, until next time, see you around.